Robert Lee Yates Jr. grew up in a middle-class family in Washington State. He attended a Seventh-day Adventist church with his parents and entered the Army at age 25. No one, including his own family of 5 children, suspected he was the elusive Spokane serial killer who terrorized Washington State for decades.
When the detectives told us about the crimes, I immediately started crying. It was devastating, disappointing. It was shocking for all of us, all my siblings. It's still a struggle for us today.
Couldn't believe it. I was shocked. And especially when I saw him on the news after they had arrested him and he's walking through the hallway. It felt like it was someone else, but you know, that's my dad. How could he do that?
Yates murdered at least 16 people, destroying their lives and those close to them.
He took my daughter away from me forever.
I don't have that older sister no more. I don't have someone to look up to.
When they finally arrested Yates, nobody could believe that that guy was the serial killer.
Many of Yates' victims were prostitutes. All of them died of gunshot wounds.
She was not just my sister, she was my best friend. She was my world.
In Spokane, Robert Yates is leading a double life, as a killer and as a father.
Most of the time we have family dinners together, and that's where we'd say grace.
Dear Lord Jesus, thank you for this blessed day. Thank you for the life that we have, the liberty.
That seems like a really great time to talk to your dad about what was going on in your day.
It wasn't like a sit down and happy chatty family at dinner. No, it was more like quiet.
Yeah.
And shut up and eat your food.
No one knows that the man who's leading his family in prayer at home is also terrorizing the streets of Spokane.
My dad actually hid one of the guns he used in a box up here. My second oldest sister had no idea that the gun was up there.
Some of the bodies had several plastic bags over their head, bag on top of bag on top of bag. Based on what I know now about Mr. Yates, in my opinion then, it was for utilitarian reasons to stem the flow of blood.
As a general rule, he was not trying to hide the bodies. It was just a quick disposal of the bodies, as if he was kind of tantalizing, teasing us to see if we could catch him.
As the body count mounts, Yates finds it more difficult to hide his killing spree from his family.
Remember when he came home that night and he said he hit a dog and there was blood all over the back of the van?
Yeah, I remember asking him about it. I was like, what happened there? I accidentally ran into a dog, and I had to set it on the back of, there was a fold-out bed, and I had to set it there and take it to the vet.
I mean, you saw the blood.
I saw the blood, the stain.
It was on the back of the van, in the back seat of the van.
I'm sorry, but I'm feeling kind of woozy. Can I sit down?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's a horrific memory that you had.
I just turned around in the middle, one of the middle chairs that were in the van, and I was like, what's that spot from? And that's what his excuse was about the dog getting hurt, and it was really bloody. That's what he told me. And he said, I just couldn't get all the blood out. I tried, and it's still stained, and it's good. And I remember the smell, too. I remember the nasty, there was a smell.
Did that stain stay there after that day?
It didn't go away. It was just permanently on that. To know I was right there where he had laid a body, it was just disturbing. We've even seen like a billboard sign. My dad was driving, my mom was in the car, and she said, man, I hope they get that, son of a gun, for doing that. That's just sick. And my dad was right there driving. I just looked at the sign and I shook my head. I'm like, how could someone kill all those women?
As 1997 draws to a close, Spokane's holiday spirit is brutally shattered.
The bodies of Lori Wasson and Sean McClenahan were found buried together at 14th and Carnahan the day after Christmas.
Christmas came, and I knew something was wrong because would never miss Christmas. Never.
Investigators contact Kathy Lloyd to inform her that her sister Sean has been murdered.
I was pretty much just a walking, moving shell for many, many years. And in some respects, I still am. I cannot describe to you how close we were.
Kathy interrupted her teaching career to look for her sister's killer.
I was constantly talking to someone on the task force. I missed a lot of work, but I had to take action. It's hard for me, even now, all these years later. I can't believe she's gone. I needed to hold her one more time, and he took that away. I wanted to trade my life for hers.
In the beginning, I was for life imprisonment. Then I started watching him. And then I started really listening to what he was saying and his body language. And I truly believe this man has no remorse for what he did.
Now we're going to go and meet Kathy Lloyd, who is a sister of Sean McClanahan.
Well, maybe it'll bring some healing to Kathy if I meet her. Maybe it'll lessen her hurt.
I kind of want to give my condolences towards her, say how sorry I am.
I really want to meet with them. I really do. And I want to be able to say to them, Sean wasn't a 5-year-old girl that said one day I want to be a prostitute. She was a happy, wonderful child who grew up into a wonderful adult. Things happened.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I know the girls are nervous too. Kathy, this is Amber.
My name is Amber.
Michelle.
Nice to meet you, too. I have a lot to tell you about Sean. I brought some pictures, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My family and I definitely feel sympathy for all the victims and their families.
It's probably got to be really hard to be here.
Yeah, it is.
One of the hardest things for me with her was how close we were, how much I loved her, and that I didn't get to say goodbye. Around Thanksgiving, I went looking for her on East Sprague. I said, you know, I'm really worried because somebody is killing prostitutes. And Christmas Day, of course, we're waiting for her because we knew she would be there. And it was the next day when a detective called and told me Sean had been murdered.
We really don't know a lot about your sister, so that'd be nice if you talked about her.
Can I show you some pictures?
Yeah, we'd like that.
Sean had a great sense of humor, and I brought some pictures from when she was small. She was very happy, outgoing. This is Sean and her husband at the time and her son. He took an overdose a couple of years ago and he died.
Was it because of what happened to her?
I think it's part of what. And then before she was murdered, I can never say she died. I have to use the word murder because she did not
Die of natural causes.
Right. She sent me this card. It really states what was going on and what was in her heart and mind. Dear Kathy, I'm sorry you're receiving this late. I'm still using heroin daily and prostituting to pay for it. But the good news is, a week from this coming Monday, I stop the heroin and go on methadone. God, I'm so happy, Kathy. This nightmare is almost over. I miss you all so very much. It hurts me to think of you all. I spend all the time alone. Wishing for better days. God, it looks like they are near. Please update my brothers and mother about my life and tell them all I love them and I'm still alive. God bless you all. I love you. Sean. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Apologize.
I know, but you don't know how bad I want her back.
I knew some of the other women were trying to better their lives, and I felt like he just totally screwed it up. They were trying to better themselves. They were trying to get out of what they were doing, you know? They were trying to better themselves. And just right when that was happening, he had to get, he had to kill him.
Oh, come here, please. I just want to take everybody's pain away. I want my pain to be gone. I want this, it'll never end. We're all victims, maybe on just a little bit of a different scale, but we're all victims.
In 2002, Robert Yates is sentenced to death for the murders of yet 2 more women in another county. He is currently on death row at the Washington State Penitentiary.
There's no sense in asking someone like Yates, why did you kill all those women? He wanted to. He could. He wanted to, and he could. And he did.
My dad definitely knew the difference between right and wrong. He told me one day when I was a teenager, deep down, even though people say they don't know the difference between right and wrong, deep down inside, they do know what they're doing is wrong.
How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
To count 11.
And he was almost in tears when he said that to me. He knew what he was doing was wrong, but his emotions took over it.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
You too.
Yeah, take good care of yourself.
We're the same. His daughters and I are the same. And it was nobody's fault. We didn't do this. We are all victims.